sermon starts. I'm delighted to take any children this size and lower who'd like to
Good morning, Sandra.
I'll be in the library. We're ready to go.
Tell me when.
Well, you'll see.
Shah, still, the Rebbe sagt. Notice how effective that was.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. Shh.
Good morning. I am Ken Pograb, your congregational president, and I want to welcome you here today on Rosh Hashanah. And Ann has some announcements about babysitting.
Hi everyone, I'm Ann Berman-Waldorf and Shana Tova, Happy New Year. Babysitting is in room 13 this morning, if anyone would like to join us at any point. Our teen service for high school or B'nai Mitzvah and above is in the multi-purpose room. And for those children remaining in the sanctuary right before the rabbi begins his sermon, I will meet you by the door where Lara Jasper is standing, and I will take children to the library for a more appropriate children's activity during the sermon. And at the conclusion of the service, you may meet your children in the library. Anything else? Shana Tova.
The teen services now.
It's now.
Yeah, I thought so. Check. Good morning, Shana Tova. Welcome to the year 13,500,000,5,779. We begin our service on page 166. We rise for the Chatzi Kaddish. What?
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל עגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשא לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
167, Baruch Hu.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or uvorei choshech, Oseh shalom, uvorei hakol.
168 at the top, responsively. We praise you, eternal God, ruler of the universe, who makes light and creates darkness, who ordains peace and fashions all things. And steadfast in their vigils day and night, your angels flooded with fervor sing your praise. They teach the holy ones to bring into your house the breath of early light. How manifold are your works, O God! In wisdom you have made them all. The earth in its fullness is yours. Great is your love for us, eternal God, and deep your compassion. Our Creator and ruler, our ancestors trusted in you, and you taught them the laws of life. Be gracious now to us and teach us. Have compassion upon us, O source of mercy. Guide us to know and understand, to learn and to teach, to observe and uphold with love all the teachings of your Torah. Enlighten us with your teaching. Help us to hold fast to your mitzvot. Unite our hearts to love and revere your name. Blessed are you, O God. You have chosen your people Israel in love.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchoto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. Hafta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם נאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 171, responsively in the middle. True and enduring, beloved and precious, awesome, good and beautiful is this eternal teaching. You abide through all generations. Your name is eternal. Your throne stands firm. Your sovereignty and faithfulness are everlasting. Eternal God, you redeemed us from Egypt. For this, the people who felt your love sang songs of praise to you. Who humbles the proud and raises the lowly, who frees the captive and redeems the oppressed. All praise to God Most High, the source of blessing. Like Moses and Miriam and all Israel, we sing to you this song of rejoicing.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora teilot osef eleh, shir chadasha shipchu geulim l'shimcha. על שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צור ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני, גל ישראל.
Page 173, we rise for Amidah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וכתבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומעידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע. מי כמוך הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל.
Amen. Please be seated. bottom 175. It is said that the words we are about to utter were born of the martyrdom of Rabbi Amnon of Mayence. He chose to die that his faith might live. He said, "Unatana tokef kedushat hayom." Let us proclaim the sacred power of this day. It is awesome and full of dread. Now the divine judge looks upon our deeds and determines our destiny. A legend. And yet, surely our deeds do not pass away unrecorded. Every word, every act inscribes itself in the book of life. Freely we choose, and what we have chosen to become stands in judgment over what we may yet hope to be. In our choices, we are not always free, but if we only make the effort to turn, every force of goodness within and without will help us, while we live, to escape that death of the heart which leads to sin.
Unitane tokef kedushat hayom ki hu nora ve'ayom uvoti nase malchutecha v'yichon b'chesed kisecha v'teshev alav be'emet.
Let us proclaim the sacred power of this day. It is awesome and full of dread. For on this day your dominion is exalted, your throne established in steadfast love. There in eternal truth you reign, in truth you are judge and arbiter, counsel and witness. You write and you seal, you recount and record. You remember deeds long forgotten, you open the book of our days, and what is written there proclaims itself. For it bears the signature of every human being. The great shofar is sounded, the still small voice is heard. The angels, gripped by fear and trembling, declare in awe, this is the day of judgment. For even the hosts of heaven are judged, as all who dwell on earth stand arrayed before you. As the shepherd seeks out the flock and makes the sheep pass under the staff, so do you muster and number and consider every soul, setting the bounds of every creature's life and decreeing its destiny.
Berosh Hashanah yikatevun ubiyom Tzom Kippur yechatevun. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun ubiyom Tzom Kippur yechatevun.
On Rosh Hashanah it is written, on Yom Kippur it is sealed. How many shall pass on? How many shall come to be? Who shall live and who shall die? Who shall see ripe age and who shall not? Who shall perish by fire and who by water? Who by sword and who by beast? Who by hunger and who by thirst? Who by earthquake, who by plague? Who by strangling, who by stoning? Who shall be secure and who shall be driven? Who shall be tranquil and who shall be troubled? Who shall be rich and who shall be poor? Who shall be humbled and who exalted? But repentance, prayer, and charity temper judgment's severe decree.
Utshuva utfilah utzedakah mavirin et roa hagezerah.
This is your glory. You are slow to anger, ready to forgive. It is not the death of sinners you seek, but that they should turn from their ways and live. Until the last day you wait for them, welcoming them, as soon as they turn to you. You have created us and know what we are. Page 179, please rise. Kedusha.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו, אדוני אדוננו, מדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו מלכנו מושיענו, והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה.
Please be seated. We continue page 184.
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, יעלה ויבוא ויזכר זיכרוננו וזיכרון כל עמך בית ישראל לפניך לטובה, לכן לחסד ורחמים, לחיים ולשלום ביום הזיכרון הזה. זוכרנו אדוני אלוהינו בו לטובה,
Amen.
ופוקדנו בו לברכה,
Amen.
והושיענו בו לחיים.
Amen. Top of 185. We give thanks for the mitzvot which hallow our days, and pray for wisdom to guide our lives by Torah. Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha beyira na'avo. O fill our minds with knowledge and our hearts with wisdom. Remind us of the best that is in us. Help us to feel the anguish of the afflicted and oppressed. Make us bring knowledge and skill to help the infirm. Teach us to stand in awe before the mystery of being. Top of 186. Many are our blessings on this day of remembrance. We give thanks for life itself, for all that sustains body and mind, love and friendship, which deepens our life and enriches our days. We pray silently. Our service continues on page 188. I call to the bema Melissa, Andrew, Stella, and Dylan Witrial. Please come forward. I call to the bema Carol Tischler and Howard Schachter. Page 188. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and all who dwell there. For God has laid its foundations in the sea and established it upon the currents. Who may ascend the mountain of the Eternal One? Who may stand in God's holy place? Those with clean hands and pure hearts, who never speak with malice, who never swear deceitfully. They shall receive blessings from the eternal God, justice from God. Such are the people who turn to you, who seek your presence, O God of Jacob. Please rise.
מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל. מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל. מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל. מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל.
Page 189, Avinu Malkeinu. 100 generations have stood as we do now before the open ark. That they found in themselves little merit testifies to their humility. They repented and amended their ways. They fell only to rise again. As they climbed toward the light, strong was the faith of those who stood here before us, while we are a generation that have sought to dethrone you. We call you Avinu. As a loving parent, forgive our sins and failings. Reach for us as we reach for you. We call you Malkeinu. As a wise ruler, teach us to add our strength to your love, that we may redeem this world and build your kingdom. To this vision, to this possibility, to this task, we offer ourselves anew. Avinu Malkeinu Shema Kolenu Avinu Malkeinu Chata
Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu, Ki ein banu masim, Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed, Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed, ve'oshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu, Ki ein banu masim, Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed, Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed, ve'oshienu.
Our Father, our King, be gracious and answer us.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanon, Erech Apayim v'Rav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed la'alafim, Nosei Avon v'Fesha, V'chata v'Nakeh. Beit Yaakov lechu v'necha be'or Adonai, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, L'amo Yisrael b'kedushato, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'norah Shemo. Lecha Adonai Hagedola v'Hagevora v'Atiferet v'Hanetzach v'Ahod, Ki chol b'shamayim u'va'aretz, Ki chol b'shamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha Adonai ha'mamlacha ve'ami yitnaseh lechol rosh.
Please be seated. The Torah reading is found on page 192. It's easy to find. The Torah reading for Rosh Hashanah is the creation of the world. It is one of the easiest Torah portions to find since it's always at the beginning. That's why I read it. And also because Rosh Hashanah is the birthday of the world. Now, Rabbi Hillel Hasheni, around the year 300, he decided that we should count from when God made the world. That's because our Christian brothers and sisters decided to count from the birthday of Jesus. And so they called their year 300 AD, 300 years Anno Domini, that Jesus reigns over us. The rabbis said Jesus was a nice guy, he was a good rabbi, and we don't worship any rabbi, not even Wisnia. So therefore, we're going to count from the best thing God did for us, and that was to give us life, to give us a universe. And so, Rabbi Hillel Hasheni, around the year 300, tried to count back. And he counted back some 3,000 years or 3,500 years, and he decided when God made the world. Now, I'm sure he thought he was relatively accurate. We now know he was off by 13.5 billion years. But that doesn't bother me very much, because even if it was 14.5 billion years, it's more than I can count. The question is not the accuracy of the year. And according to his calculation, this is the Rosh Hashanah of the year 5779. It is from what we're counting. It is from when God made the universe. God said, let there be a big bang, and there was. Life is wonderful. We have a new opportunity. We have a new year. And so we thank God for that new year, and we read about creation. The blessing before Torah reading is found on page 192. Please join me in the bracha. Baruch hu et Adonai hamorach. Baruch Adonai hamorach leolam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten ha'torah. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. V'ha'aretz hayta tohu vavohu. And the earth was unformed. V'choshech al penei tahom. And there was darkness in the universe. V'ruach Elohim mirachefet al penei hamayim. But the Spirit of God hovered over the universe. Vayomer Elohim yehi or, vayehi or. And God said, let there be light. And there was a big bang. Vayar Elohim et ha'or ki tov. And God saw the light and saw that it was good. Vayavdel Elohim bein ha'or uvein ha'choshech. And God distinguished between the light and the darkness, between existence and nothingness. Vayikra Elohim la'or yom. And God called the light day. V'la'choshech kara layla. And the darkness God called night. Vahi erev, vahi boker, yom echad. And there was an evening, and there was a morning, one day. Why do we start with the evening? Because we're all good Babylonians. And when does the day begin on the Jewish Babylonian calendar? At moon up, when the moon rises and the sun goes down. There was an evening and a morning, one day. Vayomer Elohim yehi rakia betoch hamayim. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the water. Vayehi mavdil bein mayim lamayim. And it will distinguish between one realm and another. Vaya'as Elohim et harakia. And God made the firmament. Vayavdel bein hamayim asher mitachat larakia. And God separated between that which was under the firmament, uvein hamayim asher me'al larakia, and from that which was above the firmament. Vayi Cain, and it was so. Vayikra Elohim larakia shamayim. And God called the firmament heaven. Vayi erev, vayi boker, yom sheni. And there was an evening and a morning, the second day. Vayomer Elohim yikavu hamayim mitachat hashamayim el makom echad. And God said, let the waters over the face of the earth be gathered to one place. Vatera hayabasha. And dry land appeared. Vayihi chen, and it was so. Vayikra Elohim layabasha eretz. And God called the dry land earth. Ulemikveh hamayim kara yamim. And the gathering of the waters he called sea. Vayar Elohim ki tov. And God saw that it was good. Vayomer Elohim tadshei ha'aretz desha esef mazriya zera eitz pri ose pri. And God said, let fruit trees and grass begin to grow on the earth. that have their seed within them. Vayhi erev, vayhi boker, yom shlishi. And there was an evening, and there was a morning, a third day. And you know how it goes. God continues to create, and God creates for 6 days and nights, because God was a good Babylonian, so he used half of the round number of 12, which is 6. So God worked for 6 days, and then what did God do? He took a day off, so that we take the Babylonian number of 6, they count in 6s and 12s, and we add the day of rest. So Jews invented the weekend. And what was the very last thing God created? Us, human beings, male and female. And God gave us the earth and said, don't mess it up, you're not getting another one. Page 196, we join Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah. Please rise.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה.
I call to the Bima Talia Lynn. Please be seated. On page 208, in the 7th month, on the first day of the month, there shall be a sacred assembly, a cessation from work, a day of commemoration, proclaimed by the sound of the shofar. Hear now the shofar, acclaim the world's creation. Hear now the shofar, you who stand at Sinai. Hear now the call and turn in true repentance. We are made in the divine image. Know then the sound and discover its meaning. On page 211, please rise. And shofar blessings.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לשמוע קול שופר. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Together, blessed is the eternal God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and calls us to hear the sound of the shofar. Blessed is the eternal God, ruler of the universe, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach. Tekiah. Shivarim Teruah. Tekiah. Tekiah. Shivarim. Tekiah. Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah. Page 213. Your love is everlasting to those who revere you. Your righteousness continues to children's children, to those who keep your covenant, who remember your commandments and do them. I remember your kindnesses, your great goodness to the house of Israel. The eternal God is a God of compassion who will not forget the sworn covenant with you and your fathers and mothers. I will meditate on your precepts and keep your ways before my eyes. Justice, justice shall you follow, that you may live.
Baruch atah Adonai, zocher habrit.
Praise be the eternal God, who remembers the covenant. Tekiah. Shivarim Teruah. Tekiah. Tekiah. Shivarim. Tekiah. Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah. 2:15. Now we call to mind the great moment when Israel stood at Mount Sinai and heard the voice of the shofar. There our people entered into your covenant to be your witnesses to the world. From there they went forth to proclaim the laws by which the free may live and the enslaved find hope. That covenant we renew when we hear the sound of the shofar. From that day to this, we, a people acquainted with miracle and disaster, encountered you again and again on the path of our life. You are present, O Eternal One, not only on peaks of vision alone, but at any moment we may turn and find you. The whisper of a thought, the most humble touch of being, may lead us to God. So endlessly revealed amid your concealments, you stand awaiting our search, to lead us with many a fall upward to heights we tremble to climb.
All this we hear, the shofar, stranger among sounds is heard.
And that shofar sound heralds yet another day, whose promise is our hope. Then shall we begin a time of peace of which we dream. A world of truth shall be revealed to us, and together we shall rejoice in the sovereignty of God. Distant that goal, at times it fades from sight. For we are free, free to love, free to build, free to hate, free to tear down, and yet the dream is not forgotten. The vision does not fail. It is the meaning of our lives. Come what may, we shall hold fast to it. And even when the hope seems lost, we shall say, The dominion of heaven could begin today if we would but hearken to God's voice. On that day the great shofar shall be sounded. You shall cause the shofar to be sounded, happy is the people that knows the joyful sound. And it shall be said on that day, this is our God for whom we wait, whose deliverance we await in hope. Every valley shall be exalted, every mountain and hill made low. The uneven ground shall be made level, and the rough places a plain. Shout joyfully to the Eternal One, all the earth. Break forth, sing aloud, shout praise. 217. Baruch atah Adonai, shomea kol truah amo Yisrael barachamim. We praise you, the merciful God, who hearkens to the sound of the shofar. Tekiah. Shevarim Tiruah. Tekiah. Tekiah. Shevarim. Tekiah. Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah Gedolah. I call to the bima Danielle, Lauren, and Megan Sadak. Please come forward. Page 220, the return of the Torah.
יהללו את שם אדוני, כי נשגב שמו לבדו. הודו על ארץ ושמיים, וירם קרן לעמות. תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל, עם קרובו. הללויה, הללויה.
Please be seated. At this time, Miss Ann, if you'd raise your hand. Everybody look at Miss Ann over there at the door. All children under bar mitzvah age who would rather not hear my sermon. It'll be more fun, I'll admit. But if you want, the kids are going out for a snack with Miss Ann and some activities. So, young children, as we say in Icelandic, the ungra lundir, young puffins, please go. Thank you. Thanks. It's always either Gilbert Sullivan or Lewis Carroll. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe, all mimsy where the borough groves and the mome's wrath outgrabe. The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kings, of why the sea is boiling hot and whether pigs have wings. And my retirement. I was born in Brooklyn, God's country. 1949. This alone in my life would have qualified me for the rabbinate, but there is more. My parents fled from Brooklyn to Pennsylvania in 1950, and after a short stay in Philadelphia, I was raised in Levittown, Pennsylvania, and spent most of my life at Temple Shalom, the Reformed synagogue in that fair city, under the watchful eye and gentle guidance of my rabbi and the man I proudly call my rabbi, Herbert Hendel, of blessed memory. He was a kind old bachelor, like me, of course, a New Yorker, but he came from an Orthodox background. After getting his degree at CCNY, Herb rebelled. He went to the Reform Rabbinic Seminary of Hebrew Union College in the New York City campus. By the time he became the rabbi in Levittown at my synagogue, Herb's family had all passed on. He had no family left, so he kind of adopted me and my parents. He had a love of Jewish people, a love of the state of Israel, and a thirst for Jewish knowledge. All of these he tried to impart to me. If in my career of 45 plus years, I have been half the rabbi and mensch that Herbert Hendel was, I will be happy. May he rest in peace in Beth Moses in Long Island. But I know, of course, that he is up in Gan Eden in heaven, where I have no doubt he is sitting in God's yeshiva studying. It was Rabbi Hendel who told me to go to the University of Pennsylvania and major in religious thought, to which I replied exactly as I had replied when I became a bar mitzvah, and he blessed me in front of the ark, as I now do with our kiddies. And he told me to grow up and become a rabbi. I said, yes, Rabbi. After graduating from Neshaminy High School in Levittown and the University of Pennsylvania in Philly, I followed Rabbi Hendel and went to the Hebrew Union College, the Reform Rabbinic School. I was in the very first class of Reform Rabbinic students who went to our branch school in Jerusalem for their first year of study. Now, every cantor and rabbi start their seminary training at our branch in Jerusalem. I was ordained in Cincinnati in June of 1974. Of course, I was one of the best students in the class. But I must have been bad somehow, because they punished me and exiled me from the East Coast. I was sent to do 3 years hard time in Holy Toledo, Ohio. There I was assistant rabbi at Temple Shomer Emunim, and I learned the trade. I fled from the Midwest in June of 1977 to accept the call here as senior rabbi. That means I was the only full-time employee. It was a new little synagogue in West Windsor, New Jersey. There was no mail delivery here in those early days, so we rented a P.O. box number 128 at the Hightstown Post Office. And every morning, either I or my part-time secretary, Lois Consovoy of blessed memory, had to go to our box, P.O. Box 128, and get the mail. Since that time, we have grown from the 10 original families who founded our congregation. I have stalked the stained glass jungles of central New Jersey. I have tamed the lions of Judah here in Princeton Junction and the Windsors. This is my 42nd Rosh Hashanah with you, and I have been proud to be your rabbi, to help you raise your children, and to create a vibrant and active Jewish community here at BethChaim. This truly is a house of life, a BethChaim. When I came here, I was young. As you may have noticed, I have grayed at the temple. When I came, I was svelte and handsome. I felt that I had the body of a Greek god, Adonis. Now, of course, I still have the body of a god, only it's Buddha. My mind is farshimmelt, and my jokes, well, let's just say you've all heard them, haven't you? But I do remember the poem I learned in 9th grade, Alfred Tennyson's Idylls of the King. Tennyson says, "The old order changeth, yielding place to new, and God fulfills himself in many ways. All things end, lest one good custom should corrupt the world." It is time for a new generation. You need a break from Wisnia. Toward the end of his career, in the book of Numbers, chapter 27, Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, our great teacher, realizes that he can't do it all. He will not live long enough, and he doesn't have the strength to lead the people into the promised land. He realizes that he is flawed and not perfect. And so he asks God to appoint someone with new ideas, new vigor, who will lead the people to greater things. God tells him to appoint Yehoshua ben Nun. I know I am not a Herb Hendel, let alone Moshe Rabbeinu. But now is the right time, not just for me, but for BethChaim as well, to turn to new leadership. I am weak-willed. I have yielded to temptation and shown zeal for bad causes. My life is an alphabet of woe. When we read that on Yom Kippur, I identify with it. When I step down as your senior rabbi a few months from now on January 31st, I will be pushing 70. Together, we have created a fine congregation. We have a strong, wonderful, talented staff in place. We have committed, strong, involved lay leaders. And you, my fellow congregants, you are ready to carry on the work that will lead us to a bright future, whether I am here or not. Retirement is part of the life cycle of a rabbi. Throughout Jewish history, we have always been refreshed and renewed by learning from new rabbis and new leaders. The cycle of rabbinic leadership continually adds to our collective wisdom and makes us a stronger, more vibrant community. The Jewish people survived the retirement of Moses, and as I have said, I am no Moses. The next few months will still be a time for us to rejoice and reminisce together. 42 years ago, I came to the little shul in a cornfield, and now you and I together have built the biggest and most successful congregation in our area. Of course, it will be sad that my tenure is over, but it can be exciting as well. Hey, I'm not dead yet. I will still be teaching on Sunday mornings this fall, 7 classes on people who are my personal heroes. I will be doing some Wednesday morning rabbi classes in October, God, Torah, and Israel, the Jewish trilogy. I am planning one more congregational trip in early December from the 9th to the 18th to revisit Cuba now that Castro has fallen. There is still room if you want to sign up and get one more taste of Wisnia. Talk to me after services. Upon reflection, I think that the entire process of self-evaluation that the board of the congregation has begun will be good for our temple. Both Rabbi Blum and I totally support the idea of an interim rabbi to come here for a year or so and take my place as you move forward. Our congregation needs time to process, discuss, and figure out what you want in your next senior rabbi. I have become a big man in this town. Of course, I am trying to lose weight and be less of a man. But I still have big shoes to fill. And I know that, like the Kirk Douglas movie, I cast a giant shadow. Having a temporary replacement and interim senior rabbi will allow you time to think, discuss, and plan. You will be hearing about these meetings and discussions. You will all have a chance to be part of the plan and give your input to help choose my successor. The interim rabbi concept has worked well in many other Reform synagogues. It is a tried and true method of the Reform movement, and it is the recommended procedure for the URJ, the Union of Reform Judaism, when a long-term rabbi retires. Throughout this transition, Rabbi Blum will be here and continue as our associate rabbi, as an important and constant presence, a solid figure of continuity. Of course, Cantor Binder and our wonderful staff will also all be here. Our president, Kenny Pogrob, our wonderful board of directors. They have put together several thoughtful committees who will be meeting and discussing our future. And they will be coming to you for your input. You will be hearing much more about this after January 2019. Many people have asked me about Rabbi Blum's future here at Beth Chaim. During this transition, it is important for us that Rabbi Blum will maintain her position here as associate rabbi. She will help the new interim rabbi navigate the next year of transition. She will act as a stabilizing influence and bring continuity to the synagogue. What will happen when the interim rabbi leaves in June of 2020? Rabbi Blum has proven to us that she is wonderfully talented, capable, and totally qualified. It is not my job, however, to dictate or coronate who will assume the mantle of leadership here at Beth Chaim after my retirement. That is something that you will all discuss among yourselves during the next year, and then discuss with her directly. That decision will be made 1 year from now, and you will all be invited to meetings and discussions. You will then all decide together. Meanwhile, the best way to honor me after I've retired is to keep Beth Chaim strong and growing. Stay with our synagogue. We don't want to lose anyone during this transition. Our congregation is great because you have all made it that way. Please continue to make Beth Chaim your religious home. I will judge my success upon your continued Jewishness. Please light Shabbat candles each week at home. Come to the shul for adult ed classes and holiday rituals. Come to study the Torah and take its teachings into your hearts. Make Judaism fun and creative for your children and grandchildren. Then my career will have been a success. Stay a member of BethChaim. Come to High Holy Days. Have fun at Purim Megillah readings and carnivals. Rejoice at Simchat Torah. When I become Rabbi Emeritus in January, I will judge myself to have been a good senior rabbi if BethChaim thrives after me and you and your children are good Jews. What does emeritus mean? It is actually a wonderful thing, and I thank the board of the congregation for the honor that it implies. Calling me your Rabbi Emeritus means that you recognize my contributions to our congregation, and that I am still valued, and I will remain part of BethChaim's family. It also means that I get now to be a bum, to have fun, to stay home and annoy my wife and children, and not go to committee meetings. I will be back after my sabbatical in a year, but I just won't be in charge. In this next phase of my life, I will now get to focus on other things that are important to me without the headaches of running this large, successful congregation. What will I do during my sabbatical? It has not been totally determined, but you all know that my first love is the Civil War. I have been planning for years to write a book about the war and about racism in America. I have been working on it occasionally, but now I'll get down to it in earnest. My title is An Impartial Jewish View of the War of Yankee Aggression. It is a fresh look at the Civil War, the Confederacy, slavery, and racism here in America. I need to do some traveling for research down to Shreveport, Louisiana, in South Carolina near Sumter, in Sumter near Columbia, so I will not be around much next year. I have lived my entire life in this area. Rabbi Emeritus does not mean that I am dying, and I am not moving away. The Philly area is my life and my home, and it will continue to be so. Emeritus does mean that I will be gone most of 2019. But I will be back in 2020 as Rabbi Emeritus to assist our clergy, to do some life cycle events and teach occasionally as the new leadership team directs me. You know, I've wanted to live to see 2020 for years. Meanwhile, let's focus on having a party on November 3rd, to rejoice, to have fun, to sing and dance, to remember about our 42 wonderful years together. Some know that my second historical love is World War I. The party on November 3rd will be 1 week before the 100th anniversary of the end of that horrible war on November 11th, 1918. So I am calling my party a farewell to arms. You might say that I know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for me, the old man of the sea, the Dead Sea. Please come on that Saturday night, November 3rd. The cantor and I are planning some fantastic entertainment. We shall sing and dance and rejoice in about the last 42 years. And of course, there will be dark chocolate. My last weekend will be Friday, January 25th, 26th, and 27th. We will have a wonderful weekend of free family activities as the culmination of my career. This will be a joyful send-off. Please mark these dates on your calendar. My 5 protégés, whom I have sent off into the clergy, will come back to visit and torment me. Saturday, November 3rd, we shall have a party. They'll all get a crack at me before that. I am still beautiful, cute, and funny. And oh yes, humble. But I am getting long in the tooth, and it is time for me to ride off into the sunset. I have stalked the stained glass jungles and tamed the lions of Judah, my favorite saying, since my ordination in 1974. That's a career of 45 years. Thank you so much to my friends and my congregants here at Beth Chaim. You have made my career a wonderful and meaningful one. I must thank you. I must thank our wonderful custodial staff for years under Dino and now under Sadie. My faithful secretaries, Linda and Diane, who have made the office run so smoothly. Our educator, Ann, our cantor, Stuart, they have helped me run our congregation. Our lay leaders have supported me and made this synagogue possible. Without you, my congregants, I would have failed years ago. I look forward to many years of a future where we will still have a continued relationship with me as your Rabbi Emeritus. But the age of Wisnia is ending. I hope that I have taken the mantle that was handed to me years ago by Rabbi Herbert Hendel, and that I will now pass on to my successors. And I hope I haven't messed it up too much. I hope that when you look back and remember me, you will have an image of me smiling at you, giving you a big hug, telling a clever joke, and always looking to the future with optimism. I hope that you will look back and say, Eric Wisnia was my rabbi, with as much pride as when I say that Herbert Hendel was my rabbi. Please remember, there is always another chocolate donut on the horizon, just around the corner. It has been my honor to be your rabbi. Shana Tova. I call to the bima Karen and Scott Boyarsky. Please rise, page 222, the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
The Kaddish is found on page 223. We recite Kaddish in memory of all those who have died, in memory of the martyrs of our people who lie in nameless graves and have no one to say the Kaddish for them. In honor of Lawrence Resnick, father of Steve, who was laid to rest yesterday, our condolences, our love. We join in saying page 223. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divara chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha berichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata v'nechemata da'amiran v'yalma v'imru amen. Shlomo Rabba min Shemaya BethChaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, we all say. Amen. Please be seated.
Some announcements, some of the things that Rabbi Wisnia alluded to, but first at 2 o'clock today, we have a pre-reader family service, so if you have pre-reader children, please bring them there. At 3 o'clock at Mercer County Park, we have our Tashlit service. We're going to be using birdseed. It is rain or shine. We are under a pavilion, so please come to that at 3 o'clock today. For Rosh Hashanah tomorrow, we have a service at 10 o'clock, which is something new this year. It will be in the library. It will be followed by a luncheon, so please come at 10 o'clock tomorrow. We will be having a break the fast on on Yom Kippur. We're not fasting today. On Yom Kippur, that will be 5:30. Following services by reservation only. Please contact the office if you're interested. There is a nominal fee to pay for our food, but please join us. Some of the events that we are having to honor Rabbi Wisnia on September 13th, this Thursday, the Jewish Federation is actually having their annual meeting here at BethChaim. They are going to be honoring Rabbi Wisnia, so that would be at, I believe it's 7:30. Please join us. September 28th, there will be a pre-neg in the Sukkah, followed by services with Rabbi Peter Rigla. On October 21st, the Men's Club will be honoring Rabbi Wisnia, followed by a transition Q&A with Rabbis Wisnia, Blum, and myself. So please join us if you have any questions on the transition. There'll be other opportunities, but that will be our kickoff. It will be October 21st, 11 o'clock. So we got more. October 26th, Rabbi Appel will be here for Friday night services, followed by an oneg, so please join us for that. November 2nd, Friday night service with Rabbi Ingla, followed by an oneg. Of course, November 3rd is the benefit. We hope you enjoy it and join us. There are flyers out front on the table, so please pick one up. And Friday night, the 9th, Rabbi Master will be back to join us, followed by an oneg. And he'll also have a Torah study on Saturday. Friday the 16th, Rabbi Carrie Bricklin Small will be back, followed by an oneg. And finally, on the 23rd of November, Cantor Jessica Fox Epstein, followed by an oneg. So a lot of rabbis that you've grown up with or your kids have grown up with will be back. Please join us for some of those nights.
If your children were stolen from you by Ann Berman Waldorf, you can pick them up in room 14. And if you dropped anybody off at babysitting, you can go and pick up those children in room 12. So 12 and 14.
Will the congregation please rise? Yivarchenu Adonai v'yishmarenu, may the Lord bless us and keep us. Yair Adonai panav eleinu v'chunenu, may the Lord let his face shine upon us and be gracious unto us. Yisad Adonai panav eleinu v'yasem lanu shalom, may the Lord lift his face to us and give us a year of health, happiness, and peace. Shana Tova, please come up front and shake our hand and give us a hug.